Oh, 7 Citizens Black here from Casa Black Gaming, and so with the new huge update to Star Citizen 4.0 comes a new moment in the game where we finally have multiple systems, and as the patches leading up to 4.0 came into existence, many new changes to overall gameplay also happened, making pretty much all guides before this useless. Well, I aim to change that with a handful of various topics, which I will post in one large video guide, and then also break up into smaller chunk-sized guides by topic. But no matter how you find these guides, they will all be quick, to the point, with useful timestamps below and in their own playlist on my YouTube channel. These guides will be aimed at either new players or players who might have taken a break and are fresh to Pyro and all the game has to offer, so no matter your skill level, you should get something out of these guides. So let's stop the chattering and get to the info. So let's talk the big decision you're going to need to make, which is which system should you start in? Now, let me first say that if you're new to the game at all, then I highly suggest, no matter your playstyle, that you set Stanton as your starting system. Pyro is lawless, whereas Stanton has a law system in place, which means if you're attacked in Stanton, then there are consequences for the attacker, such as receiving a crime stat or going to prison. Now, for most of Pyro, none of that exists, so you'll get attacked and you will lose items, cargo, your ship, the items on your body, etc. Pyro is meant to be a dangerous place with high risk but high rewards. Now, that does not mean you cannot earn good rewards in Stanton, so don't look at Stanton as a place you cannot earn a good living. In fact, Stanton is more fleshed out, at least in the beginning, than Pyro. So even most of your missions and reputation earnables are going to be in Stanton, not to mention more access to things that you need that will help you begin your journey, such as your gear, ship components and weapons, etc. Stanton is where you establish yourself and then reach out into Pyro once you feel you're ready for that next step. Now, the safety of Stanton might not be how some want to start. For those players, you might want to be thrown right into the thick of things, and so while I do not suggest it for new players, you can consider that a challenge and go for it, but that's up to you. So before I discuss choosing your starter planet to call home, let me explain why this decision suddenly became very important with update 3.24. Now, in that update, a huge feature called personal hangars was introduced, and what this means is that wherever you call home after your character creation, this will be where your one and only personal hangar is located. Now, consider these hangars, they're basically your base of operations. You can decorate them and set up storage containers with your gear, or leave out ships or ground vehicles for fast and ready use, or just to decorate your hangar with. These hangars are where you can bring back your cargo or loot, and are meant to be where you coordinate and ready yourself and your ships for playing either solo or with other players. Star Citizen requires proper planning before taking on gameplay. If you go out without proper planning, the chances of failure are very high. That's why where you choose to set your home is very important. So with that in mind, let's discuss your 4 home planet options. So once you've selected your system, assuming you went with Stanton, the next decision is which starter planet of the 4 options you would like to begin your journey on. Now, this has sometimes been more clear-cut than it is now, I think. I will tell you the positives of each planet really quick. So for ArcCorp, you begin in the city of Area 18. Now, this planet is an easy to begin with location with a good armor store to pick up your basics such as ammo, drinks, and other supplies. There are 2 great ship stores here as well for buying components to have a good start with your ships. The city can be a little confusing, but not as much or less as any of the others except maybe Crusader and Orison. The downside to ArcCorp is that you will not have as many mission options as you will at a couple of the others, and the reason is because ArcCorp and pretty much Crusader are not full-feature standard planets. ArcCorp is considered sort of a city planet without a ground like Hurston or Microtech, so there are very limited places other than the moons that have stations or mission locations. Now, Hurston and its landing zone of Lorville is a great starter city because of all the mission and options that are available and the extra locations that are on the planet's surface. It's got huge distribution centers that currently have a few mission types and will be receiving even more. There are also various caves on the planet's surface, which while do not offer up much content at the moment as we would like, they still offer up more exploration and some chances at some hand mining and creatures to hunt and a few missions as well. The one drawback to Hurston is its aesthetics, being a pretty dirty looking planet, and its hangar is not the fanciest or best lit, and also does not have as many good shops for ship components and weapons, but for covering various types of gameplay, including some of the best mining in the game and more salvage options due to so many players going there for various missions, it's a good place to start. Now, the most popular location would be Microtech in its starting city of New Babbage. Now, this is a mostly cold planet and one of the nicer on the eyes to look at, and it definitely has its own fancier vibe going for it. It also has a better selection of ship components and weapons than Hurston. The planet is another that has good mission locations with distribution centers and caves, along with forested river areas. The mining is not as good as Hurston, but you do get a nice PvP area called Ghost Hollow if that's your thing. This might seem like the most obvious choice, but with being the most popular, it does have its drawbacks. One of which is more people make it their home. Therefore, it is often the laggiest place to call home. And if your computer already suffers playing Star Citizen, then this might not be where you want to start out. My computer handles the game fine, and I still do not call Microtech my home, but I have my own reasons for this. Last but not least is Orison. Now, out of all 4 planets, this is the one that I pretty much don't recommend. As a starter, you will have less mission types here, like I mentioned earlier with ArcCorp. It is pretty good for bounty hunting though, both PvE and PvP, and it does have a cool space station that can also turn into a nice PvP area, so that might be one reason that you want to call it your home. The pirate station of Grimhex is also located in this system. And also, if you just really love that gas giant vibe, it might be something that you like. Just know that if you choose Orison, you will spend more time traveling to get back to your personal hangar. Not that you cannot set up at other stations in space, because you can, you just cannot have that home hangar anywhere else. But there are ways to still be efficient and have multiple little places to call home, so sometimes having a home hangar out of the way can still work. It's just something more for players who understand how things work in the game, so not what I would recommend for new players. Now, I will set up a video on setting up little homes away from your home planet, so look out for that as well. Okay, so that's it for this 4.0 little guide, but as mentioned, this is a small guide on a single topic, but there will be a larger guide with all topics in one, so do look for more guides on 4.0, which are all in their own playlist, as I will have quite a few of them. Or you can look for that larger overall guide if that's your thing. Now, if you found anything helpful here, then please consider liking and subscribing, as that really helps my channel grow. I also have a Discord where all are welcome, and we have many nice helpful players who cover a wide range of time zones who can answer questions directly or even help to offer assistance in game, so come on over. Anyway, I've been Black, and let's keep it positive out there as we make our way through the verse.